Next on Binge with Baldrick.
If you love the Aurora, you know. If you don't, you just might with this episode.
This is Binge with Baldrick, the interesting show for curious minds and hungry hearts. Here now, a guy who's lived his entire life with artificial intelligence, Thomas Baldrick.
Greetings, friends. Much love and gratitude for being here. I am Thomas Baldrick. I woke up today. Life is good. I am Julian Baldrick's dad. I have some great info to share and spectacular images to show. So let's go. One of those images is a special reveal. You will see the professional Aurora photography I was given, and you will see it for the first time as I do. I will consciously do my best to be brief here because of how much I love this subject. I could talk about the Aurora forever, kind of like talking about my kiddo. I never get tired of thinking of him or talking about him. It's just one of those dad things, I guess. But I will tell you straight up, I totally geeked out on the Aurora for 6 weeks before I went to Alaska and then did so the entire 11 days I was there. Therefore, I'm quite confident of my qualifications to share the details and tips from my Aurora chasing experience. And of course, some fun stories too. And while I'm not qualified to do impressions from movies, I'll slip in a couple here anyway. Yeah, I will. Despite the many surprised looks I got from people, maybe just another one from you right there, I also know most people visit Alaska in summer. Yes, I know that. The cruise ships are sailing, the temperature is comfortable, there is endless daylight and endless beauty. The one reason I did not go then is the Aurora. The time to catch this atmospheric phenomenon is the very cold and very dark half of the year. They don't call them the Northern Lights for nothing, kids. So the more north you go and the closer you get to the Arctic Circle, the closer you are to home run experiences. It could be as easy as 1, 2, 3 why Americans might choose Alaska as the go-to destination for seeing the Aurora. Number 1, A is for Alaska. A is for awesome. A is for amazing. A is for abso-friggin-lutely on all of the above. Number 2, travel doesn't require a passport, unlike going to Canada, Finland, Iceland, Norway, and Sweden. Number 3, it's cheaper and easier going to Alaska than going to those beautiful countries. All right, I didn't mention Greenland right now as a great Aurora destination, even though it is. But that's only because I don't know how most folks there will react to you while President Trump is out there talking about a hostile takeover. Somehow, I don't think they will be green with envy. Either way, you might find yourself spending your precious trip time having to discuss that. Back on point, people have asked me, was going all the way to Alaska to see the Aurora worth it? Yes. Even being in such really cold weather like that? Yes. For me, the Aurora was on my bucket list since childhood. Same for reaching all 50 states. Alaska was my 50th, and I will say probably my favorite. Weeks after my trip, I'm still sitting here bursting with joy from this life-changing experience. And this, what we're doing today, leads up to the episode with the Aurora Guy. My goal is to spread the love. If you are curious, or you know someone who is, or you or they hope to experience this magic yourself, that's why I'm doing this. I hope you do. I really do. I hope you do. Keep in mind, Alaska is bigger than the giant states of Texas, California, and Montana combined. It covers more than 665,000 square miles. That makes it about 1/5 the size of the lower 48 states. Now, despite the massive size of Alaska and despite the fact you can probably see the Northern Lights from anywhere in the state, I would have gone to any part of Alaska where the Aurora Guy Team was located. How about that? I think they call that a testimonial. More on them shortly. Thankfully, they made it easy. I flew into Fairbanks. Consider it like the main visitors hub in Alaska for aurora viewing. It has a really nice airport and all the amenities you would want for life in the not-so-big city. And perhaps best of all, I found the people of the greater Fairbanks area to be so incredibly nice on a daily basis. They earned the nickname of being the Golden Heart City. Flying. If you're flying, consider Alaska Airlines. It is a good airline to fly, knows Alaska the best, and has the most flights. So this also means if the winter weather disrupts your scheduled flights, Alaska Airlines has the most options for you to get home. The Alaska cold winter. You want the truth? You can handle the truth. You can. And you can handle the Alaska winter too. Just be smart. Do what the Alaskans do. I shared secrets I learned from them in the previous episode here on Binge with Baldrick. Episode 15. You will be good to go after that. Thank you, Jack Nicholson, as Colonel Jessup, doing that great scene in A Few Good Men. The Alaska dark winter. While I was there, it was dark about 19 or 20 hours a day. But keep in mind, the clear dark skies are your friend. But keep in mind also, most aurora sightings occur in the late night and overnight hours. For me personally, the best results were 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. One other point. If you look on social media, you will find more than a few Alaskan locals saying you don't need to hire an aurora chaser. They are right. However, keep in mind they are speaking as people who have nightly opportunities, most every single night, to see the aurora. Michael Jordan and Michael Phelps, the best at what they didn't win every time. And likewise, even skilled aurora chasers don't win every night. The questions to ask yourself are, how much time and how many opportunities do I have for aurora chasing? And one last cluster of questions. Do you feel lucky? Well, do you, punk? Dirty Harry never gets old. Perhaps think of aurora chasing like deep sea fishing. Seriously, you have a certain amount of time. You could rent a boat and do it all on your own. But the chances of catching fish are often best by making reservations with a professional boat captain who knows the seas, the conditions, and has better insights on how and where to catch fish. Not to mention, make it a whole lot easier for most people. In turn, a good aurora chaser knows the skies, the ever-changing aurora conditions. They change minute to minute, the right locations on that given night, and when the aurora could appear. Sadly, I've heard people tell me in Alaska about aurora chasers who practically guaranteed success. No one in those industries can make such guarantees. So if you ever buy into this nonsense, know you just put a hook in your own mouth. With aurora chasing, I'd say be realistic, but hopeful. And then hopefully your expectations will be reached, or even better, exceeded. Before we get into my tips, one quick funny story about how into aurora chasing I was. Recently, I posted a short video about being offered a bag of snacks because the kind Alaskan assumed I was homeless. I get it. I was outside in below zero temperatures, looking tired and most likely a bit ragged. I was walking along the ice and pulling my carry-on suitcase. Here's the irony. I was, in fact, homeless for much of my time in Alaska. It's a good thing this was a solo journey because no one in their right mind would have done this. My days were super busy, and most nights I was out all night long hoping to catch the aurora. What good was a hotel room for a few hours? That's what I thought. Instead, I took early morning naps in my trusty Toyota RAV4 because Alaska was still dark. I went to Planet Fitness locations, worked out, and took showers. Mostly, throughout my Alaska adventures, I got by on passion and drinking C4 energy drinks from A to Z. One afternoon driving from Homer to Anchorage after an all-nighter where I only saw beautiful stars and was probably delirious, I even recorded an impromptu C4 commercial on my phone for my own twisted amusement. I actually forgot about that. Oh, the things we do in living fully with no adult supervision. I called it my Maximum Alaska Tour. Moving right along. Here are my 8 great keys for Aurora Chasing Success. Number 8, go all in. Think positive despite fear. And know to reach your goal and get the most out of the experience, it is best to stay awake and laser focused on the skies. Go all in on the possible thrill of victory, despite knowing the agony of defeat is you staying up all night without seeing the aurora. I know. I had both happen more than once. And if that's not enough mystery for you, there is no guarantee it will appear, how long it will last, or how big or visible it will become. And on the flip side, there is also no guarantee it won't be amazing when you least expect. Any experienced aurora chaser will tell you some of the most extraordinary moments are surprises or encore presentations, meaning they happen after you think there is no magic show or after you're completely sure the show is over. An early glimmer in the sky may be all you get, or a late gold mine with a payoff beyond what you can imagine. There are the 2 options, and anything in between. So 100% mystery means 0% guarantee. Number 7, be rested as best you can. I know. Take it from me who didn't. But if you are aurora chasing with others and you must sleep, take turns and always have someone on watch. If you are alone, like I always was, and way too excited, sleep is not an option. My success plan was based on anticipation, fear of missing out. That was a great motivator. And of course, those trusty C4 energy drinks. Number 6, know where to look in the sky and know what you are actually looking for. Again, take it from me. The first time I witnessed the aurora, I didn't even realize it. Let me digress for a second. This is too good. I was all alone, way outside of North Pole, Alaska. Nobody around, no light around. And I saw this green band of light in the sky. And I was like, what the heck is that? So I got out of the car, and I had already been seeing some really wacky things in the sky that I can't explain, still wigs me out. Anyway, I wanted to not only see what it was, but I wanted to hear if there was anything to it. So I get out of the car after turning off the engine. I walk a few feet from it. It's so dark, I can barely find my way back to the RAV4. But when I do find the door handle, I pull it open, I get in, hit the button, nothing. Dead. No engine crank, nothing lit up. It was totally dark. But because I prepared for an adventure, I just laughed and thought, okay, let's see what happens next. Anyway, good friends that I met in North Pole, I called them on the phone. They were on the way home late Saturday night from a Christmas party. They were actually going to come drive 25 miles to help me out. That's the Alaskan people. That's who they are. That's what they do. My buddy Lane was a former fire chief in North Pole, so he was up on safety. He had just heard about someone who went through this same experience. And he said, put your key fob right next to the button. Try that. Sure enough, I did, and it started right up. The moral of the story is, in those extreme cold conditions, the car cannot recognize the key fob sometimes. So that's the solution. All right. Thank you, Buddy and Karen Lane, for your kindness and friendship. Number 6, dress in layers. The right layers. Again, my previous podcast episode will ensure you nail this. If you're suffering the cold, that will dominate and could give you an unforgettable experience in a way you didn't intend. Number 5, pack drinks, your own snacks or snacks somebody gave you, and have a fully charged phone And above all, make sure you bring plenty of patience. I will tell you, I met dozens of people viewing the aurora. At different spots, they all wanted the same thing. At the known sunset time, get the photo and go. My friends, the aurora borealis ain't the sunset. Truth be told, many people parked and stayed for a few minutes, then left. That's fine. Maybe they weren't able to wait, or maybe they didn't want to geek out like I did. Their choice. I'm just saying it is not optimal if your goal is seeing the aurora. Number 4, be away from light. All light in civilization. No headlights, no dashboard lights. And I'm sorry to trigger anxiety, but no lights from your phone or other devices. Otherwise, you'll miss the full effect. The stars alone make watching the night sky in Alaska a spectacular show. When was the last time you can say you saw stars twinkling at you? No one else is around. It feels like they are twinkling at you. It's awesome. Furthermore, by being all in on the skies and the goal, away from all light, you will notice the changing skies and be ready for if and when the aurora show happens. Number 3, go back to old school. Have a visit. Pretend it is history class. Fully engage and enjoy the company of the people you are with. Laugh, tell stories, learn things you didn't know about each other. Share your observations of what you see in the sky. Don't you deserve a break from those digital dependencies? In my case, I felt like I did. So I spent most of my time in Alaska, just me and all the voices in my head. I was never alone or lonely. I liked myself, laughed at myself, and wasn't critical of myself. I was just enjoying adventure. Most people are more freaked out by hearing that about my silence than hearing I went to Alaska solo in the dead of dangerous winter. Number 2, photography. This, my friends, is the exception for being on your phone. You simply cannot resist taking pictures of the aurora borealis, I'm telling you. But unless you have custom high-end professional equipment, I'm thinking video is generally not a viable option. With a good smartphone, you will get some decent photos, some maybe even very good. No flash. Do not use a flash. And no, regardless of what you get on your phone or your camera, know the best images of all will be the images you have in your memory and your DNA. And number 1 of Thomas Baldrick's 8 great keys for Aurora Chasing Success, go to the beautiful state of Alaska and hire the Aurora Guy. And speaking of aurora photography, it is time for a look at the work of the magnificent Maya Hartwigson. Her professional aurora photography name online is We Were the Tide. I didn't plan this as a reveal. Being in Alaska, I simply fell light years behind in email. But I decided to wait and open them with my son when I visited him in Las Vegas. But I was present. And such a good time broke out in Las Vegas that I was just in the moment and I forgot. Now, this may be a total dud. I've never done one of these, but at least it will be authentic. Here is the email from Maya. Here is her first picture. Oh, cool. There's me in my Perry the Platypus hat from Phineas and Ferb. I'm on the left. There's Maya on the right. And look at that sky. Oh, my goodness. Oh, let's go to the next one. There's me. If that is not one happy guy showing gratitude. Wow. Perry the Platypus hat looks pretty cool, actually. Oh, my God, look at that sky. Another one. Oh, I love those Uggs, too, on my feet. That aurora is just spectacular. Look at those stars, how close they look. You know, I had no way of seeing that field. It was so dark. Only that camera of Maya's picks up the snow. Oh, my Maya. Doesn't do it justice. Let me tell you this. Maya Hartwigson is so cool. We were driving home. It was 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. I can't remember exactly, but I know I had just gotten done saying to her that, Maya, I feel like I had the most incredible dinner, and then I had dessert, and then I had a second dessert, and I am so full, and I am so happy. It was just delicious, everything we did. I'm telling you, 30 seconds later, she pulls over quickly. Now remember, the roads are icy. She pulls over quickly and she goes, "Get out! Get out of the car!" And I didn't know she's like, "Get out!" So I hop out on the passenger side. Now, all the while, I had been looking down and to the right because we were coming back down into the city of Fairbanks. And she's like, "Look at that." And I run around the front, and there it is up in the sky, the most spectacular time of the night. She's seen incidents like this a number of times, countless times, but she was just as excited as I was. And there we were, totally geeking out, recording it. I was just completely in awe, out of my freaking mind at what we were watching.
Oh, my.
It's dancing.
A timeless gift, a precious gift, and I will cherish that moment forever.
You see it dancing out there?
Mm-hmm.
There's purple and like little swirls on it.
So there's nowhere to go from there, for me anyway. So let me thank the Aurora Guy. Let me thank magnificent Maya Hartwigson. You are incredible. Vincent Ledvina, you are incredible.
It's amazing.
Anyway, be sure to subscribe to Binge with Baldrick, and that's not a pitch for me, but it's a pitch to remind you that the next episode coming up will feature them, the Aurora Guy. And if you like this, you won't want to miss that.
Look at that. See, when we say Aurora, this is what we're talking about.
That's Aurora.
Until next time, Godspeed, my friends. May you have moments like I have with this Aurora stuff. My heart is so full. It is so full. And the disappointment that I felt over the Philadelphia Eagles losing in the playoffs to the 49ers, that seems distant now. So it's easy for me to still say, go Birds.